When the night has come and the land is dark.
Hannah was diagnosed in my 5th month of pregnancy with an issue. We just knew that her arms and legs weren't moving very much. The regular doctor sent us down to Children's Hospital where they diagnosed her with arthrogryposis during my pregnancy. They followed us up until the day she was born. She, with a lot of therapy, has gained some movement in her limbs. She also has some feeding issues. She depends on a tube in her stomach to feed. There's a lot of unknown in life, and we've come to know that very well because everything in Hannah's life from the start has been, it's going to be on her terms, and we may never know what her future holds. And we've learned to live in the moment and in the day and just be thankful for each day as we're given it.
Should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble.
Dwayne was a premature baby, born at 2 pounds 4 ounces. Dwayne he's a tray-invented baby. He has a G tube. He's on oxygen. He's on a ventilator. Dwayne is on a pulse ox machine. Dwayne, he eats baby food, but as tolerated. Dwayne has been in the hospital like most of his life, practically. Dwayne has been home only about a month and a half since he's been born. He's a happy baby. You know, he's a well-loved baby. And I love him to death. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Whenever you're in trouble, you just stand by me. Oh, stand.
His muscles are very weak, so he's unable to, you know, obviously stand or use his hands. He can't talk, he can't breathe without the vent, but his mind is fully intact.
One of the things they describe Jeremy's condition is it's known as locked-in syndrome. So he can think and reason, but there's just no effective way for him to communicate.
Once Hannah came along and the needs of her, you know, issues kind of came to light. So we made the tough decision to go to a one-income family, which nowadays is really very difficult. We typically have an appointment almost every day, whether it be in the home for therapy or out of the home for therapy, or, you know, various doctor's appointments because she does see so many different specialists. I don't think Hannah would be any other way. Hannah's illness doesn't define who she is. To us, Hannah is perfect. She's the happiest little thing I've ever seen in my life. She's brought a lot of joy to all of us. You know, her illness, you know, it has its good days and its bad days. You know, sometimes they're tough and you wonder why things happen the way that they do. But there's different struggles every day, you know, and I think Hannah's illness has taught us to be thankful for what we do have, and that things are not worse off than the way that they are.
Dwayne's illness has affected my life tremendously. Me just being home, taking care of him, that's the most important thing right now. You know what I mean? When he's home, I want him to stay home. So I want to do any and everything I can to keep him that way. He has good days and he has bad days. I can't even work because of his illness, and he has to be really watched at all times. I wouldn't even feel safe even to go to work, and I would be more home than I'll be at work because I'll be worrying about him. Because I take Dwayne to his doctor's appointments when he has to go, and he's been going most frequently since he's been home. On good days, I try to take Dwayne out as far as walks and stuff. You know, when it's hot out there, I don't even take him outside.
Well, Jeremy's condition has affected our entire family in so many ways. Obviously, he's a medically fragile child, so we have needed a lot of support.
When you have a medically fragile child, the only people in the world that can take care of him are mom, dad, and specially trained nurses.
Also, there's just been the lifestyle of Jeremy being the center of the family simply because he has to be. And so we have to take care of him. And so we're like many other families, except we don't go on vacations or we can't do things spontaneously. Everything has to be planned out and organized.
I work part-time and my husband works full-time. And so I figured I'd probably spend about 3 or 4 hours a day just directly taking care of Jeremy.
Fred's Footsteps has helped us in a huge way. If it weren't for Fred's Footsteps, we would not have been able to hold on to our home. Fred's Footsteps really kind of saved us a lot of stress and a lot of heartache, because having 2 kids in the situation that we did, there's a large gray area that a lot of people fall into that don't get any assistance from the state or from anything. And we were in that gray area. No matter what we did, we were not going to be able to get help. And thankfully, the people down at CHOP got us connected with Fred's Footsteps, and they really did save our home. I don't think we could ever even put into words how grateful we are, because it really helped us be able to transition the medical part and becoming a family with a special needs child a lot easier, because we didn't have to try and struggle to pay the mortgage.
Fred's Footsteps helped the whole a lot. We almost lost our home. He has been ill quite some time, and our focus was just on Dwayne and nothing else. We stayed at the hospital and not even think about what was going on at home, knowing our mind was taking care of Dwayne. And Fred's Footsteps helped us a lot with it. He saved our home, and we appreciate them for doing that, and grateful for them doing that, because without Fred's Footsteps, we probably wouldn't even be here.
Well, Fred's Footsteps have helped us tremendously. Jeremy he has begun to use a communication device that he can actually access with his eyes. And then it's got a synthesized speech device embedded in it, so it speaks words out of it. But the school system, although they've worked really well and hard with us, they really don't have staff that works with the disabled population, nor do they have the type of expertise and training in working with these AAC type devices. So we've asked the school system for a couple of years, would they fund the extended school year program at HMS School for Cerebral Palsy, and they have not. So this year I heard about Fred's Footsteps, and I sent an application requesting funding, because it's beyond our means to send him there for the summer. And Fred's Footsteps gave us a very generous grant that made it possible. And Jeremy has had an absolute blast of a time there. So he has begun to actually independently try to communicate with people, which he has not done in the 2 years that he's had this device. And that's happened in 3 weeks' time. That's the type of independent communication we really need him to do, and we feel that the money that we receive from Fred's Footsteps has made that possible. I think one of the things we wanted to take place for him was not only work with staff that knows how to work with this type of population, but for him to be with kids like himself.
There's nothing sad about it. Kids, there's a lot of happy energy.
Oh yeah.
So it's our privilege to be part of it this summer. You work really hard. You know that you're a burden on society in one way or another. You know, you want your child's life to have quality. You want to take care of them, but you realize your finances only go so far.
I'm not sure what we would have done without Fred's Footsteps.
Because Wayne has been through a lot. He's been through a lot, and with the grace of God, he's still here.
He really needs something like this in his life.
Yeah. So thanks so much.
Yeah,
We're
wouldn't
very
have happened
thankful.
without Fred's Footsteps. So.
Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by stand by me, stand by me.